Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. When people talk about credit cards, the names that dominate every conversation are usually Chase, American Express, Capital One, and Citi, but then there's Barclays, which rarely ever gets talked about. Barclays has one of the most confusing and misunderstood approval process in the credit card space, and people with great credit get denied, people with fair credit profiles get approved, some people get small limits, others grow huge limits over time. And most applicants have no idea why any of it happens. So before you submit your application, I'm gonna break down Barclays credit card approval secrets, and after watching this, your odds of approval should definitely increase dramatically. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before you apply for any credit card, you should understand some information about the bank that's issuing it. Now, every bank has its own approval philosophy, and Barclays is very different from most American lenders. Barclays is a British multinational bank headquartered in London, and this is a massive global financial institution that has been operating for centuries. Their primary website is barclays.co.uk. However, their US credit card division runs separately through barclaycardus.com, which is why you will see a different website from the American credit cards. This matters because Barclays is not a fast-growing fintech startup trying to approve everyone. They are a traditional conservative bank that prefers long-term relationships with customers. Their approval decisions reflect this mindset. They are cautious, they are skeptical, and they want customers who plan to stay. In 2026, Barclays US focuses on a variety of co-branded credit cards with partners like JetBlue, Wyndham, Frontier Airlines, AARP, and they have discontinued some other co-brands as well. But there are like around 15 to 20 distinct major co-branded products that you can get, and then they're going to actually be transitioning the American Airlines AAdvantage card to Citi in April of 2026. So depending on the time that you're watching that video, if I show that card, then just know that it's probably not available anymore for Barclays. Now, I'm going to give you an overview of Barclays. I learned a lot of this information because in 2019, it was, I think 2019 to 20 or 18 to 19 to 20. I don't remember now, but I worked at Barclays and I worked in their fraud department as well as customer service. So a lot of the information that I've gathered does come from firsthand experience. Now, one of the most important details before applying for any credit card is knowing which credit bureau that banks prefer to pull. Now, Barclays primarily pulls from TransUnion, and as far as I know, that's the only bureau that they do pull, and that will be for both personal and business credit cards. So if your TransUnion credit report looks strong, then your approval odds will increase significantly. Now, here is a surprising fact. Barclays doesn't have a strict cap on how many credit cards they will give you. However, Barclays moves very slow. They are conservative and they are relationship focused. You can generally apply for a new Barclays credit card every 6 months, though they are sensitive to recent inquiries and they do not want customers opening multiple cards quickly without demonstrating real usage. Now, think of Barclays the same way you would think about US Bank. They reward patience, long-term behavior, and if you build trust and show consistent spending, they may expand your credit over time. But if you try to rush the process, approvals can become difficult. Now, you can request a credit limit increase every 90 days. That is at the time of recording this video. And because I've done this myself recently, you can get a soft inquiry on TransUnion if you try to increase your credit limit. Now, just be aware, in the past, it was a hard inquiry that has changed within the last few years. So it is a soft inquiry now. Now, this is normal, but it does catch a lot of people off guard with their new credit cards. When you first apply, most likely Barclays will ask you to verify your identity with your driver's license, your social security card, and your proof of address. More than likely, they will ask you to fax this information, and this will be on business applications as well. Their conservative approach means that they verify who they're lending to before approving new accounts. What I can say is I've seen it firsthand. You can have $40,000, $50,000 on a Barclays card. You just have to work your way up to it. And again, with their conservative nature, they are very, I would say, restrictive when it comes to fraud detections. So they're constantly going to be monitoring the account, making sure that there is no fraudulent activity. So that is normal. Unfortunately, that is something that will happen a lot with this credit card. Now, you should also expect your first credit limit to be relatively small. Many applicants report starting limits between $1,000 and $2,000, especially for sole proprietor business cards. Now, this isn't a negative sign. Barclays is testing the relationship before increasing the exposure. Now, Barclays business cards do not report regular activity to the business credit bureaus or your personal credit, so this means they will not directly help build your business credit. However, if you do default or miss payments, that negative activity can still affect your personal credit, so responsible use does remain essential. And once again, just to drive the point home, Barclays does carefully monitor how you use your existing Barclays card, and if you're not actively using your card, the one that you already have, they may hesitate to approve you for additional accounts. So I would not be surprised if, let's say, you asked for a credit limit increase and a representative asked you, why would we extend you any more credit line if you're not using what you currently have? Do not be surprised if they ask you that question. Just have an answer already prepared. Now, if you ever call the reconsideration line, you should be prepared to explain how you're going to use a new card and why it makes sense for your financial behavior. And you could say things like, I'm going on vacation, I have a large purchase coming up, I, want to do X, Y, and Z, the normal things that you would think you would want a credit card for, which would give them more reason to believe that you would use this card for future transactions. The point is that you want them to know that you're going to be using their credit cards for the long haul. Now, many people know about Chase's 524 rule, but fewer people know about Barclays' unofficial, let's call it the 724 or the 624 rule, because I can't really say which one. At one point it was 524, but if you open more than, let's say, 5 to 7 new accounts in the last 24 months, they can make it very difficult for you to get approved for a Barclays credit card. Now, this rule is not always strictly enforced, but high account velocity does make applicants look risky to conservative banks like Barclays. Barclays will typically allow customers to earn welcome bonuses again after closing a card and waiting at least 24 months before applying for that same card. However, some cards do include terms stating that you may not be eligible if you currently have or previously had the same card. You want to always read terms and conditions before applying to avoid any surprises. One of the main reasons why no one talks about Barclays, especially when it comes to their business credit cards, is because they don't offer a 0% APR promo. However, Barclays will occasionally provide convenience checks tied to credit card accounts, and these checks allow you to access your credit line like cash. Some checks include promotional APR offers, while others offer low promotional interest rates. Now, transaction fees, of course, will apply, usually $5 or 5% of the amount. Now, Barclays is what I would call like a travel partner bank. Their strongest credit cards are almost entirely co-branded airline and hotel cards, or cards like the Carnival one. That's where they really shine. Now, that's where I would say the value lies, and this is also why many people overlook these credit cards. If you're not into travel, then Barclays will probably feel underwhelming for you. But if you travel even a few times per year, then Barclays suddenly becomes extremely interesting. They have partnerships with airlines like JetBlue, Frontier, Miles & More, and Emirates. They also have hotel partners like Wyndham as well. Although these partnerships have dwindled in the last few years, these are extremely strategic travel ecosystems. For example, I have the Wyndham Business Credit Card, which gives me automatic diamond level benefits. Now, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, so that may benefit me more than it may benefit you. What I'm really trying to say is that Barclays is not trying to compete with like the Chase Sapphire or the Amex Platinum directly. They're targeting people who want airline miles, hotel statuses, a couple of travel perks. And if that's not you, then this may not be a priority bank in your strategy. But if that is you, then they may become extremely powerful. And once again, for my people who are looking for, let's say, high limit business credit cards, Barclays historically has done in the past those promotional financing offers where many people have received long 0% interest offers, sometimes tied to a large purchase. And there were periods where Barclays cards were known for extending 0% financing on, like, let's say, big purchase electronics. In the past, they used to have the Apple Rewards card a few years ago. So that's just one example. Now, for someone who understands how to responsibly use promotional financing, this can be a very useful tool, but once again, the hard part is that you have to already be a customer and be presented this offer. It's not something that you just get up front. Barclays also tends to offer balance transfer promotions, and again, these are targeted offers throughout the year. There is no way for me to tell you exactly when it's going to happen. It just may happen to your account. These are not always heavily advertised, but they do appear regularly for those existing card holders. And one other underrated benefit is that there is credit limit growth. Some Barclays users have been able to build significant credit limits over time by consistently using their cards. However, and this is very important, this only happens if they can see very consistent usage. Currently, we are on cards.barclaycardus.com. Like I said in the very beginning, because I'm sure that someone's going to mention it, it just never fails. I already said that this Aviator A Advantage credit card will more than likely not be here by the time you're watching this video in April of 2026. This card will be going over to Citi. So if you skipped through sections of this video, I already mentioned that, or you can mention it again in the comments. I'll just refer back to this part. And one other thing that I'm going to mention, they do have savings and CDs, which are actually pretty good. They also have personal loans that may be something that you might be interested in the future. But of course, you'd want to open an account with them and you can take a look at that. But let's move on because this particular offer is exclusive, invitation only. Now, going back to the credit cards, if we scroll down here, as you can see, there are many cards. One of the most important ones, or at least I would say is going to be the flagship card now, is the Emirates Sky Rewards Premium World Elite MasterCard. Now, this is a very good card if you like to travel. You can enjoy Emirates Sky Rewards Gold Tier membership during your first year. You can also earn 70,000 bonus Skyward miles after qualifying purchases and earn 3 Skywards miles on eligible Emirates purchases. There is a $500 annual fee on this card. Now, one thing that I do want to mention on this card, if you go down here, you do see, and this is a personal credit card, that you do have a 0 intro APR offer for 12 months. That's going to be on balance transfers made within 45 days of account opening. After that, a variable APR with 19.49% to 29.49%. And of course, that is based on your credit worthiness, and there will be a fee for balance transfers. And if we scroll back up here, we also see that you can earn 10,000 anniversary bonus Skyward miles after spending $30,000 on purchases on each card membership year. Now, again, this is a card that is definitely for high spend. I would say that it's for someone who really enjoys travel. But if any of these things would benefit you, like global entry or TSA pre-check, which is very standard for most travel cards, then this one may be good. You can definitely consider applying for this card. We also have the JetBlue card. Now, this one is more, I would say, like a moderate card. You can earn 10,000 bonus miles after qualifying purchases. There's 3x points on eligible JetBlue purchases, 2x points at restaurants and eligible grocery stores, and there's no annual fee on this card, which of course is always nice. Then we have other cards like the Carnival World MasterCard, where you can earn 20,000 fun points after qualifying account activity, and that's enough to redeem for $200 in onboard credit. So maybe if you were consider doing a Carnival cruise, if that was in your future, then maybe this is a card that you might want to get. And of course, there is no annual fee, which is again another great perk. This card also has 0% introductory APR for 15 months on balance transfers made within 45 days of account opening. After that, you have the variable APR at 18.49% to 29.49%. There's also interest-free financing on Carnival cruise bookings. That's 0% promotional APR for 6 months, and that is really good. After that, it goes back to standard APRs. So once again, if you were interested in maybe taking a Carnival cruise, this card might benefit you. Now, I'll quickly brush over a lot of these other cards like the Banana Republic Rewards card. Obviously, we know that that's a co-branded card with Banana Republic. You can earn 1 point per dollar spent on this MasterCard, and that's going to be with purchases made outside of Gap Inc., which is, this is a Gap brand. You can also earn 5 points per dollar spent at Gap Inc. brands. That's so specific and niche. I can't really see how it would benefit too many people unless you really like the Gap brands that they offer. There's also the Gap Good Rewards credit card, which is basically the, exact same thing as far as points that you earn, except this 20% that you would receive off of your first purchase. This one is at the Gap, that one is at Banana Republic. And then the Athleta card is the exact same thing. It's also a Gap brand. Then there's the GM Business MasterCard. Now, this card used to be with Goldman Sachs. I had this card. I was a part of that transition where eventually it is with Barclays now. With this card, you can earn 100,000 bonus points after spending $5,000 on your card in the first 5 months of account opening. You also earn 7x business card points for every $1 spent on eligible GM purchases when you use your GM Business MasterCard. You can also earn 3x business card points for every $1 spent on everything else, and this would include like business expenses, restaurants, travel, and more. And there's no annual fee on this card. Now, I'll probably be doing an updated video to this card fairly soon. As you can see right here, if we scroll down, you get 0% introductory APR for the first 9 billing cycles from the transaction date on all qualifying GM purchases that are greater than $499 made within 30 days. There is also a 0% APR for the first 6 billing cycles from transaction date on all qualifying GM purchases. Now, with that being said, if there was something you wanted to do with, let's say, GM, then this could make perfect sense for you. In the past, this was a business card that did have 0% APR, just flat for all transactions. And I would keep an eye out. That might change. You never really know. This is what's being offered at the time of recording this video, but who knows what'll happen within like the next few months. If they want to maybe create more traffic for this particular card, they may change this to where you can get 0% APR for all qualifying purchases. But for right now, it's only going to be on GM purchases. Then you have more travel cards like RCI, Elite Rewards World MasterCard, as well as the Miles and More World Elite MasterCard. I did a whole video on World Elite MasterCards. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend that you watch that. I'm going to link that right here. Just when you look at World Elite MasterCard, the standard versions, you do get some additional perks, and you normally see this with travel cards. And like most travel cards, there will be an annual fee on this one. It is $89. The other benefit of this card is that you can get 0% introductory APR for 15 months on balance transfers made within 45 days of account opening. After that, there is a variable APR that will apply. It's 19.49% to 29.49%. So if that was something that you were maybe interested in, then that might be good for you. You can also, earn a nice little bonus if you were interested in doing some like bonus hacking with Miles and More. Then we have the Navyist Rewards card, where it's just basically the exact same, except you get that 30% off of your first purchase when it comes to Old Navy. Then there is the JetBlue Business card, where it does have a $99 annual fee. You can earn 60,000 bonus points after qualifying account activity. That's 6x points on eligible JetBlue purchases, 2x points at restaurants and office supply stores. Then we have the AARP Travel Rewards card. You can earn a $100 cash back bonus after qualifying purchases, 3% cash back on airfare, hotel stays, and car rentals, 2% cash back on eligible restaurant purchases, and there's no annual fee on this card. And like our other cards, you get 0% introductory APR for 15 months on balance transfers made. Now, I know I'm skipping a lot of the very specific rewards that you get on the cards, but I'm looking for the one thing that can benefit most people. I'm assuming that if you're looking at the brand of the card, who they're with, then you know that whatever the rewards are going to be very specific to that brand. So the one thing that can apply to everyone is 0% APR, balance transfers, things like that. Anyone can benefit from those potential low intro offer rates. Then there is the Wyndham Rewards Earner card. This is one of the business cards that I currently have right now, as well as the GM card. You can earn 45,000 bonus points. That's enough for up to 6 free nights. You earn 8 points per dollar spent on hotels by Wyndham and gas. You also earn 5 points per $1 spent on marketing, advertising, and utilities. There is a $95 annual fee. If you want to watch a video on this card, I did an entire review. I'm going to link that right here. That's going to give you some really good information. Now, there's also the AARP Essential Rewards card, where you can earn 3% back on gas and drugstore purchases, 2% back on eligible medical expenses. I would say this card is going to be geared towards a lot of older people. Then there's the Barnes & Noble MasterCard. Again, it's very brand specific. If you are into books, if you want to earn 5% back when you use your card at any Barnes & Noble or Paper Source stores, as well as 2x points for every $1 spent at restaurants, that is excluding Barnes & Noble cafe purchases, then maybe you'd be interested in this card. There is no annual fee. Then we have the GM Rewards card on the personal side. Now this one you can earn 30,000 bonus points after spending $1,000 in the first 90 days of account opening. You can get up to 10x points. That's 7x points on every dollar spent on eligible GM purchases when you use your GM Rewards MasterCard, plus up to 3x points for being a GM Rewards member. There is no annual fee on this card. Then we have the JetBlue Premier card. Now this one is a more prestigious JetBlue card where you can earn 80,000 bonus points plus 5 tiles after qualifying account activity. That's going to be 6x points on eligible JetBlue purchases, 2x points at restaurants and eligible grocery stores, and a $499 annual fee with $150 for each authorized user. Then we have the Frontier Airlines World MasterCard. You can earn 50,000 travel miles after qualifying account activity, and you unlock instant elite gold status after your first purchase with the card, and that has to be within the first 90 days after account opening. Miles never expire. There is no annual fee in the beginning, but then it goes up to $99. Then we have the JetBlue Plus card, which is again another little like small step up. We had a few JetBlue cards here. Earned 70,000 points after qualifying account activity, 6x points on eligible JetBlue purchases, 2x points at restaurants and eligible grocery stores, a $99 annual fee. Then we have the Breeze Easy Visa. Now, once again, brand specific, you're going to see that. If you could find any value here, then definitely do so, but it does have an $89 annual fee. We also have the Xbox MasterCard. I think that goes without saying, but if you're really big on Microsoft, if you're really big on Xbox, then this card might benefit you. Then we have the Emirates Sky Rewards card, $99 annual fee. It's really a tier down from the previous card. There's also the You Promise card, where you can earn 300 bonus cashback rewards after spending $1,000 on purchases in the first 90 days. Then there's the Capital Vacations World MasterCard. 5,000 bonus points after your first purchase, earn 5x rewards for every dollar spent on eligible Capital Vacation purchases, or earn 2x miles for every $1 on all eligible RCI and travel related purchases. There is no annual fee. Now these are all the Barclays cards. If you want a dedicated video on one specific card, let me know in the comments below. But you can see every card is co-branded. There's a specific purpose for each card. If you can find a purpose to have to spend at one of these places, then it can make sense for you. All of these offers are available at the time of recording this video. This is definitely subject to change, so I recommend that you actually go to the website. I'll put a link in the description. Click on it and see what offers are available now. And like I said before, Barclays has cards kind of come in, kind of go all the time. So whatever cards that you're seeing here may not be here in, let's say, a year, 6 months from now. You may not see any of these. Now, I briefly want to go over a few data points. When it comes to Barclays approval data points, you want your credit profile to look extremely clean. Think a 700 plus credit score, no derogatory marks, no late payments, no collections, no charge-offs. Barclays, of course, will pull TransUnion FICO 9 once again, and they really like to see low utilization, ideally around 10% or less. Your average account age should be around 2 years or more, and that will give you very strong approval odds. Now, if you do have recent inquiries, this can hurt you. So having no hard pulls in the last 6 months definitely helps a lot. Now, here's the reality. A large percentage of Barclays applications can get denied or get pushed to pending review. Now, if that does happen, you want to call the reconsideration line. That's going to be at 1-866-408-4064. And once again, I've worked at Barclays. I've seen where I've had a pending review for a card that I applied for, and then I called and someone told me I was denied. Then I called back again, and then a representative told me, actually, you just need to fax us information to verify your identity, and then we'll be able to get you approved for this card. So you may get a mixed review depending on who you speak with. So I would always suggest, even if it shows you being denied or under review, call. And if you feel kind of skeptical about what's being said, call again. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Barclays will reward patience, loyalty, and consistent usage. They are not ideal for aggressive credit card users. Instead, they are best suited for people who are willing to build a long-term relationship. If you know your TransUnion credit report is solid, you definitely have a good chance of getting approved. So you want to make sure that you look at that report before applying. You do expect verification. Expect a smaller initial starting limit. But if you use your card regularly and you're ready to explain a strategy if needed, then this will definitely be a card that you can get very high limits on. Again, I've seen like $30,000, $40,000. That's not abnormal for this card. You just have to stick it out. Approach Barclays with the right mindset and they can become one of the most valuable banks in your credit card lineup. Now, if you enjoyed this breakdown and you want to learn more about how their credit cards really work, then make sure that you subscribe and watch more videos on this channel. I will definitely see you in the next one. And as always, you guys have a wonderful day.